the new parts come through from the factory, we'll get them on the car ahead of FP1.
Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of Marathon 2018 Career Mode. And as you heard Carl say, we have 4 upgrades on the car. None of them fell, which absolutely surprised me, and they're all on the car for this race weekend. But that is not all. We have more messages here from Emma regarding our potential rivals, so let's have a listen.
Your quote-unquote value to a team is built from your overall respect, reputation within that team, and your sportsmanship or showmanship alignment. During negotiations, the higher your perceived value is, the better the perks you'll be able to ask for in your contract. Here you can see a list of eligible drivers to declare as your rival. The more challenging they are to beat, the more the paddock will respect you for succeeding. Just be aware, you'll lose the same amount of respect if you come off second best. So it may be wise not to be overly ambitious.
So there we go, a little bit of an introduction to the contract and also the rival situation. Now I choose Lance Stroll, and it's simply because the ambitious side of me would just say go for Alonso. However, seeing how the first 2 races have gone, we've gone for a bit more conservative one. And speaking of the first 2 races, if you guys did miss the last 2, Australia and Bahrain, then do check them out by clicking the links down below in the description or clicking on the card in the top right hand corner of your screen, and go watch the first 2 episodes before coming back to this one so you're up to speed on the series. Now, in Friday practice, we settled down, and very quickly in China I realised we was quick around here. We had some serious pace, and it was the first time all season where I felt like I've had a car underneath me and I can genuinely push and try and achieve something. And overall, P4, you can see that on the qualifying performance test, very good performance. And as you can see at the end of it, we got everything pretty good scores except for the ERS management, which was the one that we failed in. So all in all, a successful Friday practice, a lot of points put away, and we've already got over 1,000 points, and we still got to do qualifying and the race. So it promises to be very interesting and also a very intriguing race weekend. And I really do fancy my chances based off our Friday practice. It's definitely the best weekend so far by a mile, way better than Australia and way better than Bahrain. So obviously with the opportunity, we want to try and make full use of it. So going to qualifying here at China, dry conditions, nice and sunny weather, and there is a bit of a trade-off here. Now around this circuit, the tyres available are the ultra softs, and then we jump to the softs and the mediums. There are no super softs allocated for this track, so that does factor into the tyre selection when it comes to qualifying. Now in Q1, as you can see, our first lap is only P17. So we're going to go for a second attempt and see if for the first time this season we can get ourselves out of Q1. 1 minute left on the clock. We're going to run for a full lap of the Shanghai International Circuit, and straight away you can see into turn 1 really working the steering wheel and throwing the car into the apexes to really make sure we get those extra tenths and really getting the lap absolutely perfect on the power. Nice and early, really getting some good exit speed there out of the sort of Snell section, and then now down the hill, braking at the 100 metre ball, braking late for turn number 5 for the hairpin. Second gear corner on the power, nice and early, and so far it's looking pretty good. One thing I do want to point out in this year's game, something that I do like actually, is the use of the lower gears. It seems to have come back into the game. I know for 2017 I'd never go any lower than 3rd gear, but this year I'm actually using 2nd gear quite a lot in some corners, especially on different tracks, which we'll see in a few races time. But back to the action, you can see the lap's been perfect so far, not a single mistake. Potentially a little bit wide through the left-hander of turn 7 or turn 6, depending on how you count it, if you count the kink or not. But other than that, it's been a very good lap and keeping it all nice and tidy. And so far you can see on the Delta we are up on our previous personal best. Now we need to improve by a little bit more if we want to really try and get ourselves, in the money. And so far it's looking like we're P14 as things stand. We could potentially really get that lap if we wanted to. Braking late for the hairpin. It's a nice bit of apexing and then a nice bit of traction on the exit. And now the final corner, braking late, avoiding the ball on the inside, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, open up the DRS and up to the line. The question is, have we got out of Q1 for the first time this season? Yes, we have. It's P14. We don't change position, but we do improve the lap time. So that's good news for us, and also a pretty encouraging session, I can't lie. It looked very damn good, and we actually beat Pierre Gasly, who got P15. Now the question is, can we beat Pierre Gasly again in Q2? Now I only had 1 lap in this session because of my tyres. I did 3 runs in Q1 on 3 sets of ultra softs. I didn't show the middle run off. I think I didn't edit it in, but you still more or less got the idea of what happened in Q1. And then in Q2 we only had 1 set of ultras, 1 fresh set left. So I basically just went for a 1 lap banzai and gave it absolutely everything. The aim in this lap is to pretty much beat Pierre Gasly. I want to out-qualify him. If we do that, that'd be a massive step in the right direction, not just for me personally, but also to actually beat him in the rivalry. And you know, it helps the reputation. People know, people see what's happening, and it's not exactly a bad thing. So for me, I'm literally just going for it on a one-lap banzai to try and absolutely knock Gasly off of his perch and try and be the top dog in Toro Rosso. And to be fair, the lap has been phenomenal so far. It's been a really, really good lap, even better than one in the Q1. This has been a absolutely, I'm talking perfect lap. Nothing left on the table, no time left on the table. We've got no delta or reference lap time, so we're literally just going blind off of what we did in Q1, and the lap felt awesome. We've got 2 corners left, make or break the lap. We brake bang on the 100-meter ball down to second gear, a little bit of a trail brake, getting the nose in, and then a short shift to third gear, beautiful hairpin there, lovely exit, and now the final corner, really throwing the car in there. We clip the bollard slightly, but luckily it doesn't break our front wing or nothing, and we run up to the line, and I tell you not, it shocked me. We got P9 and we're into Q3 for the first time this season. I was absolutely shocked at the time. I genuinely thought I was just going to try and beat Pierre Gasly, but even Pierre, you can see he got P12. He found some pace in Q2. So the Toro Rosso, all in all, was actually working quite well around the circuit, and it's no coincidence that it's the first time we put some upgrades in the car and the car's working well. So I was so pleased and so excited. And going to Q3, it became overcast. The clouds pretty much made a pretty standard and permanent appearance at the circuit, and I have to admit, we went for a full lap in Q3. I was happy to even just get 10th place. I'm already conscious and aware that I'm on a massive handicap now for the tyres for the race, because I'm going to have to start a set of used ultra softs, which I was not expecting whatsoever. And you know, everyone outside the top 10 will have a free choice. Realistically speaking, it's probably going to be mediums or softs, because you want to try and avoid the ultra soft in its entirety. And unfortunately, we're going to have to run the ultra. But in Q3, I just went for another banzai lap, just absolutely went for it. However, you can notice with the conditions changing, the track temperature was a bit lower, and I was lacking a bit of grip. I was getting a little bit more understeer, and I wasn't so happy with this lap. It's still a good lap, and so far there's not been any mistakes. It's been a pretty damn good lap so far. In terms of feel, it didn't feel as good as the Q2 one, even though we weren't actually too far off in terms of time. It was actually pretty damn close, and up until this point, it was very good. Sebastian Vettel is the man on pole, and the checker flag has already dropped. So at this point, we're just waiting for the 100-meter board and to break down to second gear for the hairpin. So there you go, getting the braking sorted out, getting the gearing sorted out, nice and tidy into the apex, and then on the exit, very nicely done there, nice and smooth on the power. And then finally one more corner to go, the final corner, throwing it in there, this time avoiding the bollard, and overall a decent lap, nice and smooth, no issues, and we actually go P9 and we don't finish in 10th. So pretty much the best we could have done. You know, the car in itself surprised me completely. I'm still in a way kind of shocked, and yeah, P9, I cannot complain. We managed to beat Grosjean for P9 there. We could have maybe got Alonso possibly, but we're clutching at straws. Realistically, I gave it absolutely everything. I gave it everything the car had, and eventually it paid off, and I was very happy. I was ecstatic with this performance. However, now qualifying's done, the adrenaline wears off. Like I mentioned before, is when you realise, crap, I'm on that massive handicap when it comes to the tyres, and we're going to have to start the race on the ultras. Now, in my head, I thought to myself, you know what, I fancy a one-stop around this circuit, and I was hell-bent on doing it. Basically, the plan is for this race, I'm going to go for the ultras straight onto the mediums, because the one-stop is very effective around here. So that is what I have in my mind. But focusing on the race itself, overcast conditions, quite a bit cooler than qualifying, less than 20 degrees, 18.5, and we have the full Shanghai circuit. Like I mentioned in the last episode, we will have Crofty back in a couple of episodes. I've recorded all these in a big bunch, but I've sorted out the audio after a couple of races, so I know what I'm doing now, and I'm quite happy with the format of the video. So I think from around Monaco onwards, you'll start to see a change, or Spain, even one of the two tracks. But overall, very exciting race. In terms of the grid in itself, it's looking interesting. I do think we can get a solid double points finish, not just myself but Gaz as well, especially because he's going to have the benefit of the one-stop strategy. But with that being said, let's see how things go here at China, and hopefully it's a good race, and if we can score our first points of the season, that would be a massive result. So with that being said, enough rambling, and it's time for round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right then, here we are on the grid at China, P8 actually, after I believe Raikkonen got another penalty, or It might have been Grosjean, I'm not sure. Someone got a penalty I didn't really notice in the pre-race thing. However, we are starting from the 4th row of the grid. Much better improving. I'm so excited for this race, guys. Points is a real possibility. However, I'm going to make it even more of a challenge. And not in a bad way, but if we pull this off, it's going to be money for us. So, we have a strategy here. Ultras onto softs, and the alternate is a 3-stopper. The Ultras don't go that long. However, I'm going to make sure they do. So I'm going to get them as far as I can, lap 6. And we're going to run mediums for this race. I can't even cut this stint out, I don't think. So basically, what we're going to do is, I think, can I cut this out? No, I can't. I literally cannot get rid of the stint. So essentially, what we're going to do is, we're going to try the 1-stopper. I'm going to risk it. It's going to be extremely complicated to pull off. This Toro Rosso might chew through its tyres. However, I believe I can do this. I'm going to give it a good old go and hope for the best. So, with that being said, we're overfueled. We're nice and heavy. It's going to be a risky one. We've got to basically take into account this new tyre management with the tyre carcass temperatures. If we run smooth and steady, I think we can do it. You know, we've got to try and get lots of laps out of these Ultras. The longer we go on the Ultras, the better the race is going to be. So let's get into it. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. So that being said, it is now time for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right then, let's get ready for the 5 red lights here for the Chinese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go for round 3 of the season. We're going to keep it in medium when it comes to the ERS. I'm going to try and save the battery into turn 1. Inside line is absolutely key here. Up the inside of Hulkenberg, a couple of cars also getting on the inside of the Red Bull of Verstappen. Bit of contact, sideways action. Just playing our cards carefully here on the power on the exit. Nice and close to Verstappen here. P6, it's a phenomenal start. Best start so far this season. And we're looking racy. Now the key thing here, like I mentioned at the start, is trying to keep these mediums in. These ultra softs in. If we can go nice and long on these, then we can definitely run the mediums. So we're going to be keeping a keen eye on my tyre wear and also my driving style. I want to make sure I keep things nice and smooth and keep the temperatures in. It's all about the tyre carcass temperatures, which I'll get up on screen now. But we're going to be keeping an eye on tyre temperatures here. So as long as we keep it all in the green, we're going to have a good chance of going long in this race. So I've got Hulkenberg here on the inside. We're going to have to go side by side with the Renault man. We'll get the inside line through the banking and get the better line. There we go, beautifully executed. Also for straight line speed, I think we're going to be a little bit better than Bahrain, I feel. We're running 6.5 aero. I was running 5.5 in quali, but I've basically added on a little bit more front wing for the start of this race to have a little bit more of a front end. So Hulkenberg gets past. We're going to run deep into the hairpin on purpose here. Bring the car back in. There's Alonso to my right, side by side with the McLaren man. Can we hold on to this position here? Yes, we do. Beautifully defended. That Renault's a little bit too fast for us at the moment, so we're going to have to settle for this position. But like I said, we're focusing on going long this race on the tyres. So let's try and get a head down and be nice and smooth on these ultra soft compound tyres here and not use them up. Okay, cars are coming in now into the pit lane, so we're now running rich mix to try and counteract the pace. Tyre wear at the moment is looking hit and miss, high enough. I just need to forget about the tyre wear and try and go very deep into this race. It's similar to what the Rebels did in the real life Grand Prix. They went so late into the race on the ultra softs and it worked for them. So we've got to hope for more of the same with us. Oh my god, okay, I think my rears have gone. All of a sudden, let me just check. Oh my god, my rears have gone. Okay, we're going to have to bail on this one stop then. My rear tyres have had it. Look at my left rear, it's gone. It's toast. Oh, signs locked up. We've got to be careful here. It's all sort of all over the place right now. We're going to have to come in this lap. So, strategy change into the pit lane here. Going to have to go on that 2-stopper. Not what I wanted. The 1-stopper definitely would have been points. Those who start outside the top 10 are going to benefit from that. But, oh well, what can you do? Not much in these situations, I'm afraid. But anyway, into the pit lane. Let's just have a nice quick stop, hopefully. Hulkenberg's in as well, so we can try and race Nico Hulkenberg here. Nice quick stop from the boys, hopefully. 2.7. Just out ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, you can see there. Critical. Right then. Off the limiter, up to speed. Can we come out in clean air? That's the main thing. Yes, we can. Alright, that's beautiful. We've got Kimi right behind for company here, but critically we are in clean air. We went a little bit longer on that ultra soft though than what we would have gone in the original strategy. So again, if we can go long on this tyre again, then we can definitely run a much fresher and stronger stint at the end of the race. Here comes Raikkonen. He goes to the inside. I'm actually going to sit behind him for now, because I want the DRS. There we go, we've got the DRS now. I can get the power down. I'm on the inside line of the banking here. We're going to squeeze Raikkonen out. There we go, ruthless move. But we made it work, and now I'm going to pick up the DRS, running the ERS in high as well. There we go, come the edge in front. Wow, Raikkonen's keeping up. And now he's just starting to drop back here. Got Williams to my left, or Haas, sorry, to my left, Raikkonen to my right. Got to be careful. Raikkonen still holding on. Goes around the outside. We have to get out of it, otherwise I'm going to lose my front wing there. Rich mix flowing, and also high ERS to try and stay ahead of the Haas behind. Didn't want to go for that move on Kimi because there's no point. We might as well follow Kimi as much as we can so he can hopefully drag me towards Nico Hülkenberg if possible. Raikkonen fastest lap, 35.3. I can't really match that pace, so probably the best thing to let him go in hindsight. At the moment we've got good pace. I'm staying ahead of Roman Grosjean here, and he is on the same tyre as me and same strategy as me, so that's good news. If we keep this up, then we're looking good. This two-stopper might still work out for us because our race pace is very strong. Another personal best, 36.8. Still going strong here, and also Prakash Amte's massive train of cars in front, so we've actually got race pace here to attack cars and race people, so let's make it count and try and make some moves. Hopefully I get DRS from Sirotkin. It's nice for a change to be on the offensive and not on the defensive in a race. Here we go though, Sirotkin's definitely struggling with his tyres, you can see he is. We've got DRS as well, and we're in hot lap, maximum ERS. We can see that Williams is bloody quick in a straight line, but we are going to get the momentum here. Yellow flag. I managed to just get ahead of Sirotkin before the yellow flag zone. That Sauber's gone for a crash, so there's been an accident there, but we've got ahead of Sirotkin just in time. So we're now at P16, and up next is Stoffel Van Dorn in the McLaren, who could be a sitting duck if we can get close enough. Unfortunately, he's got DRS from Raikkonen. Another personal best, but I've got the grip, and I think I'll be able to pass him here if I can, through turn 1 into turn 2. Bringing the car back in for a second apex. Extra grip on the tyres, really helping me out, and we get past up into P15 here, so making good progress at the moment. The car's going well, I'm very happy. Okay, it's all kicking off in front. They're going 3 wide, I can see there. I think it's a Red Bull, Raikkonen, and I want to say Williams. It's all kicking off. Hopefully we can nab some DRS. That'd be nice. I think I'm not close enough though, not yet at least. We've got an opportunity here to re-overtake Hülkenberg. He's been stuck in the battles so far this race, and he's not really made that much progress, so we might have a chance of getting back past him and getting that position. Stroll really struggling on them tyres now, that Williams car. We're doing good recovery here though. We're recovering, you know, to that one-stop strategy point, so we're putting ourselves in good contention for the points here as Stroll goes defensive. Hülkenberg knocking on the door. They go side by side. I'm going to try and place my car tactically here and pick up the scraps. Oh my god, that was close. Stroll came right back onto the racing line, but we are going to be right back of Hülkenberg now. I think Hülkenberg might have DRS, but look at this, we're gaining now. We're running the hot lap ERS, and Hülkenberg does not have DRS here, so we're going to re-overtake Hülkenberg for position and make that move. So fantastic stuff for us. Up into P13, and Verstappen's in front, and he seems to be struggling here. I think he's probably on a one-stop as well, but even still, it's worth taking into account. Right then, let's get the hammer down here and let's keep on pushing. We're doing well so far this race. 12 laps in. The one-stoppers should come in around lap 13. So with that in mind, you can see on the minimap where they all are. We still need to make up some time and make up some gaps, but we're looking okay so far. I reckon points are possible this race, but the pace has to remain strong for the rest of the Grand Prix. It's all kicking off in front. We've got 2 Ferraris here battling with a slow Carlos Sainz. Right now though, we've got enough of a gap to Hülkenberg that he shouldn't affect our position even with DRS, but we are closing down all these one-stoppers here. Right, Gasly's in the pits. My teammate comes in, and you can see now the one-stoppers are starting to come in, but Gasly critically is in the pit lane. He's in the one-stop. We have one more stop to make this race, so he's quite a bit ahead of me, so we have a lot of ground to make up if we want to try and catch up to Pierre this race. There's my current tyre wear. They're starting to get on a bit, the tyres now. So realistically, if we can pit lap 16, that would be perfect for us if we can make it that far. Also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm about to overtake Sebastian Vettel, who seems to be struggling here. Can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth, but Vettel's going slow. These tyres must be pretty done, so we might have a chance of getting past the German. Let's try it and set him up for a move. Through here, we're going to pick up the DRS, set up the car through the banking. A little bit of dirty air kicking in there. I'm now on the power. There we go. Going to run the high on the ERS deployment. I think Vettel might have DRS from Verstappen, but look at this, straight line speed. I wonder if Vettel might have car trouble. Either way, look at this, we're making the move. Here comes Nico Hülkenberg, who's going for the double overtake. I'm going to go on the outside at the hairpin. Can we hold on? Hülkenberg trying to recover the positions, but it doesn't quite work for him. I'll squeeze him out. And we stay ahead of Nico for now. More cars in the pit lane, more one-stoppers. The one-stop is OP around here. Here comes Hülkenberg. He's going to look for the move into turn 1. Surely not. It's audacious, but he's committed to it. He's made it work. I'm being forced out wide here. Oh, Hülkenberg's done it. Fair play to him. That was a nice move. Placed his car beautifully. Okay, Sebastian comes in. He's had enough of those tyres, and the Haas follows him in. We've gone down a standard now to save a little bit of fuel. I'm in Hülkenberg's DRS, so right now, P5, lofty heights. The podium's right there in the form of Max Verstappen, who seems to be struggling on these tyres a bit now. As myself and Hülkenberg close up the gap, but we're going to come in next lap for one more set of soft compound tyres. So we're looking okay this race. I do think we're going to drop outside the top 10 though after the pit stop. So I'm curious to see what happens here. Okay, Verstappen comes in. Myself and Hülkenberg stay out. So we're going to momentarily, very momentarily, go into second place in this race. And we're coming in this lap. Okay, Lewis is right on the back of me here. This soft tyre's been a very good race time, I must admit. Very impressed, thoroughly enjoyed this stint. But here comes Lewis. I'm going to save some battery deployment here for the next stint. But we're coming in this lap, so here we go. Let's make sure we don't hit the back of Lewis here. Turn the battery off, let's try and save some energy. Oh, back end just went there. First sign the rear tyres are going. There's Gasly going to the hairpin now on the one-stopper. So the good news is, all these one-stoppers will be on medium tyres. We're going to be on fresh soft, so we're going to have the advantage on tyres. So hopefully we can make that work. Very good pit entry there, nice and aggressive. Hülkenberg's in, it's just a pit lane for him and myself. We're going to drop out the top 10, as expected, I think. There goes Vettel, I think, so he's made up a hell of a lot of ground. A nice Raikkonen either way. Vettel shouldn't be too far behind. There he is, so we're going to drop out to P12 at least. Hopefully no more than that. We can stay in P12 because I can work from there. We've got Grosjean now coming down to turn 1, but we are going to rejoin ahead of him. And Verstappen's just behind him, I'm guessing that is. So, that's ain't too bad, P12. Same positions where we finished in the last race, but we're going to have to get past all those medium tyre runners now. So, hopefully, we can make it work and we can have some good pace in this final stint and get them first points of the season. That would be an absolutely incredible result if we could pull that off. Right, then I'm going to burn off the rest of my rich mix. And let's try and push now. We've got 10 laps to try and get something out of this race. You can see all the cars in the minimap going through the Snell section, so the points are there. We're really stepping up the levels here. Ocon has just been overtaken by Hülkenberg, so he's going to be the first person that we catch up here. Running some hot lap actually to try and really make the most of these fresh tyres, but not out of rich mix. I'm going to have to go into standard next time round, but we are pushing for these points here. There's loads of cars in the minimap. I think it's possible here today. There we go with 35.6, fastest final sector of everybody. We are flying around the circuit at the moment. We're looking very good here for pace. Oh, I think possible yellow flag or something's happened. Green flag now, and there's a yellow flag on the home straight. Someone's retired. Daniel Ricciardo out of the Grand Prix. That's going to promote us up into P11. And up next is Esteban Ocon. We're scoring points this race unless something goes wrong. And look at all the cars in the Snell section. This race isn't over just yet. We've got some great pace as well. Right then, here we go. We're getting close to Ocon. We're going to have DRS this lap. Just got to set up the car for the back straight. There we go. Even in low, we don't even need to turn up the battery here. Now we're going to go up to high to make sure we get that overspeed. Now DRS. There we go. Starting to edge ahead of Ocon now. Turn the battery back down. There we go, into the points. P10. Up next is Charles Leclerc for P9. Let's get it. We've still got plenty of laps here to do this. Right, through the final corner, we've caught up to Charles Leclerc. DRS open, hot lap enabled. I used it on the back straight to close the gap. We are gaining. Right, we're going to play our cards right here. Go for the switchback. That's what I'm talking about. There it is. Nice little move, nice and wide there to squeeze out Leclerc. And there we go. That's a fantastic move. Up into P9 now, so we're on for 2 points at least this race. I want to beat Gasly, but you can see him on the minimap. He's just going out the hairpin now. We are a lot faster than Gasly, but I need the tyres to stay with me for the rest of the race. Okay, tyres, not too bad. They're pretty equally worn actually. This stint's been a lot better. In terms of ERS, we're looking pretty good as well. And you can see on the minimap, that massive gaggle of cars, there's a lot of points there, and we've still got 5 whole laps left. We've got a chance, and apparently Perez has car trouble. Yes, he has. You can see on the minimap, he's just slowing down. Perez with an issue with his car. I think he might have retired or punctured. Either way, we're going to fly past for 8th place. Brilliant result for us. And there's still more cars here. You can see on the minimap. I want to try and beat Gasly. That's my target. It's a really hard target to beat because you saw how far ahead he was when I came in for the pit lane. It was the pit stop ahead of me. But we've been so good on this stint, and I want to try and finish it off and put the gloss on the weekend by beating my teammate. Right, Gasly's now the next car. He's been overtaken by Hulkenberg. Let's catch him. I can see Gasly's on the same straight as me. We are catching. 4.5 is the gap. I can see him turning into turn 1. We're getting there. Oh, Kimi Raikkonen's out of the race now. Yet another retirement. Oh my god. P7 for us. Jeez, man. How is this happening? What a result this is going to be. Raikkonen out of the race. The man who won last time out of the Chinese Grand Prix. That is massive for the championship. Right, we're not messing around now. Hot lap and rich mix. I want to give it one last push here. 2 laps to go. Fastest final sector. Come on, let's try and catch Gasly here. Last lap of the Grand Prix. I don't think we're going to catch Gasly unless he makes a mistake. Gap down at 3 seconds, but I'm not going to have enough, I don't think. Right, then just going to turn the engine down for the last bit. We tried, but we just ultimately couldn't catch Pierre. Even still, though, we managed to overturn a whole pit stop. I'm pretty happy with that. Very happy indeed. So out the final corner, we come home for our first points, and it's P7 for us. Brilliant result.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
Right then, so looking at the final race results, Hamilton wins the Chinese Grand Prix ahead of Valtteri Bottas, making it a Mercedes 1-2. Sebastian Vettel picks up the last spot on the podium. Considering we was racing with him at one point, that's pretty damn good for him. Also, Nico Hulkenberg, very impressive P4. Also, he was battling with him along the entire race. Kevin Magnussen P5 ahead of Pierre Gasly in P6, and we get P7 just behind Pierre, and a 6-7 for us in Toro Rosso, scoring our first points as a team and also as respective drivers. Charles Leclerc P8, good points for him as well on the Sauber after starting from P17, and then Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso round out the top 10. In terms of the retirements, the big shocks, Ricciardo and Raikkonen retired from the race, and Perez with car issues. In terms of the standings though, you can see we jump into P12 behind Pierre Gasly, who is P11 with those points after that race, and Hamilton takes the lead of the championship. In terms of the constructors, you can see we are P7, overtaking McLaren and Sauber that race. So overall, a very good episode for us, and we're only 4 points behind Force India. So very good result for myself and Pierre, and hopefully more to come very soon. But overall, guys, those are your results, and we're now going to move into the upgrades, and let's see if we can get anything else on the car for the next couple of races. Right then, so here we are on the laptop screen now. For some reason, I pressed record, but it didn't actually record in time, so I had to do the interview without actually recording. But more or less to summarize what happened, there was 4 questions. 3 of them were positive, basically saying how well I've been doing, and the last one was actually regarding the collisions I had over the race and little bits of contact, and basically I had to put blame somewhere. So I actually put blame on the chassis department, saying the car wasn't nimble enough. Hopefully that didn't affect me too badly, because I did give some positive comments. Now, based off of what Carl said, as you can see in the second chapter, he says, we also caught your interview, and it was good to hear what you had to say. I think some of the guys needed a bit of a morale boost, and you delivered that, so thanks. Hopefully we didn't do anything bad. Now, if we look at the R&D tree, we have 1,735 points to spend, and as you can see on screen, modify right now, we're neutral. So it's basically the damage that we did in the last race has stayed the same for this episode. So we didn't actually get them any more angry, which is good news. Now, we have 1,025 points to spend, and we can now once again, we can invest where we want to, where we fancy and where we need. realistically speaking, as you can see in the bottom here, the weakest part is the powertrain. The aero isn't too far behind, so really the chassis could actually wait. Even though I want to make the car lighter, it's the aero that needs upgrading. So we're going to go for an aero upgrade. We're going to get that front wing on the car. Hopefully for Spain it will arrive. And we're going to go for a powertrain upgrade. And we're going to go for the first of the big ones. I've given them a lot of praise in the engine department to hopefully improve, and the price has gone down a bit. So not 3 weeks, 902 points. We're going to go for a pretty decent upgrade. It's going to be a major one for Monaco, and hopefully with those upgrades, fingers crossed, if we look on the right hand side on the chart, we should go above Force India and leap above them. Fingers crossed. We'll have 300 points to actually build upon in the next episode, so fingers crossed that works out for us, and hopefully we can have another good race in Baku, which is going to be the next race we go to, and inverted commas almost kicking off the European season. But if you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, then please do drop a like on the video. Also let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the video, and do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content. Also turn on notifications to not miss a single upload from me, and finally check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's see you on my next episode very soon. Goodbye.